Hey, you! Come here. Give yourself a round of applause because you found the most magical game show on earth. This is Disney Jeopardy episode 177. And I am your host, Bryan Perri. Thanks so much for joining me. I've got 5 categories headed your way, including a Club DJ member category. But first, as a reminder, The Incredibles will be the first topic in today's game. That will be followed by closing shots. Your third category is Fantasy Fruit. We head down to the theme parks next for Disney ride lengths. And finally, those Club DJ members, they had quite a poll this week and they chose How I Died. Well, at least half of them did. Look at this poll. Dueling runner-ups for Disney Math and Tim Allen. What does that mean for the next poll? Well, just have to wait to find out. All right, let's get this game started with the cupcake round. This is the easiest round of the game, so if you do poorly here, you've got absolutely no shot the rest of the way. Sorry, sometimes the truth hurts. Let's begin with The Incredibles for 200. Dash is sent to the principal's office for doing this in his classroom. Dash was putting thumbtacks on his teacher's chair. That's not nice.
He puts thumbtacks on my stool.
You saw him do this?
See?
All right, what say you? We move on to closing shots. In this category, I will be discussing the final image, the final screenshot you see in some of your favorite Disney and Pixar films. You have to know a thing or two about them to get them all right. Let's begin. Monsters, Inc. ends with Sully looking into Boo's room and Boo calling this name out. You know the name she calls out, Kitty.
Boo?
Kitty.
All right, we're moving on now to Fantasy Fruit. This one's pretty simple. 5 clues, all about fruit. Different kind of fruit you see in Disney and Pixar films. Here we go. In Zootopia, Judy and Nick recreate the look of weaponized night howler pellets by putting these in Bellwether's weapon. The correct answer is blueberries.
Yeah, are you looking for the serum? Well, it's right here.
What you've got in the weapon there? Those are blueberries from my family's farm.
Okay, grab those magic bands because it is time now to head to our favorite Disney theme park, specifically down in Orlando right now. Disney World Ride Lengths is all about the amount of time you spend on some of your favorite Disney World attractions. Here we go. Put these Epcot water rides in order from shortest ride time to the longest. Living with the Land, the Grand Fiesta Tour, and Frozen Ever After. Okay, so down to the experimental prototype Community of Tomorrow we go to discover that Frozen Ever After is slightly shorter than the Grand Fiesta Tour. Frozen sits between 4 and 5 minutes. The Grand Fiesta Tour is just over 6 minutes. That puts it in the second spot. And then Living with the Land, yeah, that's definitely the longest, over 14 minutes long.
Listen to the land, listen to the land.
I told you guys in the past, if I have an opportunity to play the Listen to the Land theme song, I'm going to do it every single time. It's that good. All right, it's now time for How I Died. In this category, I will be reading from the perspective of a Disney character who died. You have to tell me who I am. I got stepped on by the Shadow Man. I'd argue it's top 5 most gruesome deaths in Disney history. It's less gruesome because you see that he is fully intact before he dies, but the correct answer is that Firefly from Princess and the Frog. I'm talking about Ray.
Lewis, what is it? Shadow Man done laid poor Ray low. He's hurting awful bad.
Yeah, see, that death scene isn't that bad, but when you play the clip of him getting crunched, ugh, not kind to the ears. All right, let's move on. 400-point round now is on the screen. It begins with The Incredibles. How Syndrome's life ended. So it's kind of like back-to-back how I died questions. How did Syndrome's life end? Well, yeah, you know what? This one actually might be more gruesome than Ray's. He got sucked into a jet turbine. Let's move on to the second clue from Closing Shots. The last shot of this Pixar film sees the main character putting his footprint on a rock. Correct answer is The Good Dinosaur. Not a lot of people have seen that one. Here comes Fantasy Fruit for 400. In Moana's Where You Are, this fruit is mentioned multiple times. I love Where You Are. I also love coconuts.
Where you are, consider the coconut, consider the coconuts, the trunks and the leaves.
Back to the Sunshine State we go. Here comes Disney World ride lengths. Put these water rides in order from shortest ride time to longest. Pirates of the Caribbean, Cali River Rapids, Navi River Journey. So to begin this list with the shortest ride time, I present you the most disappointing attraction in all of Walt Disney World, in my humble opinion. That is Cali River Rapids. It's only about 4 minutes and this thing absolutely stinks. Next up, Navi River Journey, which means the longest ride of this trio is Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's just over 7 minutes long. That is not very long, especially when you compare it to the other Pirates. That version is not only longer, but I would argue substantially better. Okay, let's move on now to the final clue of the 400s. It's How I Died. Thunderhead, Stratogale, Metaman, Dynaguy, Splashdown. They all shared this in common, leading to their eventual demises. Who says we have to stop at 5 Incredibles clues in this game? You're getting a 6th one right now because those are all the heroes that likely died. It's not confirmed. I don't think that every single one of them died this way, but likely died. 99.9% chance they all died because of their capes.
His cape snagged on a missile.
Thunderhead was not the brightest bulb.
Stratogale, April 23rd, 57. Cape caught in a jet turbine. Metaman, express elevator. Dynaguy, snag on takeoff. Splashdown, sucked into a vortex. No capes.
And you know what? Could have added Syndrome to that list. Yes, he died in the jet turbine, but that was because of his cape. All right, let's move on. 600-point round is headed your way, beginning with The Incredibles. Frozone's legal first name. It's Lucius.
Hey, Lucius!
Hey, Speedo. Hey, Helen. Bye.
Hey,
Jack.
Nice of you to drop by.
Never heard that one before.
Here's Closing Shots for 600. The last shot of Cars shows this character being flown away in a helicopter. Mater is your correct answer.
Take my way, that's the highway, that's the way.
Halfway point of the game, it's Fantasy Fruit now. While Quasimodo is hiding Phoebus under a table in Hunchback of Notre Dame, Frollo brings him this fruit as a treat. That's so kind of dear Frollo. The correct answer is grapes.
I know there is.
We're on to Disney World ride lengths for the 3rd time. Put these sections of the Walt Disney World monorail in order from shortest in distance to the longest. Magic Kingdom to Grand Floridian, Grand Floridian to Polynesian, the Transportation and Ticket Center to Contemporary. So I did say in distance here because this is a very easy thing to measure. You can simply measure the track online, and that's exactly what I did. So what is the shortest segment of these three? Well, that honor belongs to Grand Floridian to Polynesian. That makes sense. They're right next to each other, and you see the map on your screen right now. On the bottom, you see it reads about 2,400 feet in length. What is the second shortest, or second longest, I guess you could say? That honor belongs to Magic Kingdom to Grand Floridian, 3,100 feet on that curved section of the monorail. And finally, that means the longest is the Transportation and Ticket Center to Contemporary Resort. That is also the part of the monorail that is the highest in the entire system. Of course, that's when you are entering the Contemporary Resort. Here's your 600-pointer for how I died. The architecture of a world-famous church looked me dead in the eye and pulled me down into the fiery streets of the City of Light. Not only was I doubling up on The Incredibles today, but I guess I had The Hunchback of Notre Dame on my mind all week because I didn't even realize when I wrote these clues that I had 2 clues from that movie, but that is what leads us to the correct answer here. The correct answer is Frollo. And as we emerge from the flames of Paris, we turn up the heat for the 800-point round. It's going to get hot in here, so turn on the AC. Here's The Incredibles for 8. The name of the city the Pars live in. The answer is Metroville. Here's closing shots for 800. The last character you see on the screen in Toy Story 2 before the credits roll. Wonder if this is anybody's favorite character out there. If it is, raise your hand. Anyone? Anyone? Well, it's not Buzz. It's not Woody. It's not Jesse. It's not Bullseye. Nope. Correct answer is Wheezy, baby.
Yeah.
We're on to Fantasy Fruit for the 4th time now. After Snow White bites the infamous apple, she says she feels blank. Ooh, I know the answer. She feels sick. No, that's not right. What about she feels full? Because that apple was just so delicious and filling. Also incorrect. Correct answer is she feels strange.
Don't let the wish grow cold.
Oh, I feel strange.
It's time for another ride length. Put these thrilling attractions in order from shortest in track length to the longest. Out of these 3 attractions, one is clearly shorter than the other 2, and that one is Slinky Dog Dash coming in at 2,900 feet. But what's the second shortest? What do you think out of these 2? Well, that honor belongs to Test Track, 5,246 feet in length, and that includes the maintenance and service bays, which leaves Guardians of the Galaxy as the longest attraction out of these 3, over 1 mile of track. Last clue before the 1,000s, it's how I died. In this film, Bill Sikes became the only Disney animated character to die via driving headfirst into a subway train. Listen, I love you guys. I love all the viewers out there. I need to be honest with you. I did not research this clue to find out if Bill was the only one to drive headfirst into a subway train in the Disney animated film. Maybe there's another character who dies via doing that. And if there is, and you name them, give yourself 1,000 points and leave a comment below to let me know who it is. I just assumed that Bill's the only one. And what is Bill from? He's from Oliver and Company. It's now time for the most overly dramatic soundtrack infused unnecessarily. It's a good one. Start the game, the 1,000-point round. Hit it! And this 1,000 point round is presented by the Bunny Eclipse Shop on DisneyJeopardy.com, home to the Zero Bothers Given shirt. For those keeping track at home, it is the highest selling shirt we've got on there. Though I will say, it offends me a little that my drawings have not overtaken it. They're getting close. They haven't overtaken it yet. Get the drawings, get Zero Bothers Given, get a cameo over on DisneyJeopardy.com. Here comes your final clue from The Incredibles. The slogan for Insuracare, Bob's former employer. If I'm being real, this might be one of the hardest clues I've ever given in this show. You blink and you'll miss it. The correct answer is, your life is in our hands. How comforting. And yep, there it is on a pencil. You can also spot a part of the slogan after Bob throws his boss through multiple walls. On to closing shots for the last time. Name the Pixar film that this is the final shot of. That is the final shot of Elemental. Here's Fantasy Fruit for 1,000. Disney released this stop-motion / live-action film based on a Roald Dahl novel in 1996. We always forget that it's Disney. The correct answer is James and the Giant Peach.
From Tim Burton,
Hop on, James!
the producer of Alice in Wonderland and The Nightmare Before Christmas, comes James and the Giant Peach.
Here's your final clue about Disney World ride lanes. Put these constantly moving attractions in order from shortest in ride time to the longest. The People Mover, Spaceship Earth, Haunted Mansion. The shortest of the bunch is Haunted Mansion. That actually kind of surprised me. Just 7 to 8 minutes in ride lane. The People Mover is basically exactly 10 minutes, and then Spaceship Earth over 14. Final clue on the board belongs to How I Died. My wife was left alone with our baby triplets after 4 men on horses came and murdered me in the middle of the woods. Vote for Pedro. The correct answer is Pedro Madrigal from Encanto. It's hard to watch. 25 clues are down, but 1 remains, and it is Final Jeopardy. So, to determine what the Final Jeopardy movie will be, I lug out that big old wheel and I spin it. Wait a second. Who did that? Oh, what was that? You're kidding. For the second time in this show's history, the Final Jeopardy wheel has been hijacked. And this time, it's by your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I can't see anything. This is just a hat. The hat I bought at Universal years ago. We don't speak about Universal, though, on this show. Anyway, Spider-Man will be taking over Disney Jeopardy next week, just like I did a Toy Story Jeopardy a few weeks back. It's Spider-Man Jeopardy next week, so make sure you watch the MCU films. There'll be questions about the Tobey Maguire movies. There'll be questions about the Amazing Spider-Man movies as well. So it should be a fun episode. Spider-Man is on deck. Make your wagers. I'm just going to do the rest of the show like this. Again, I can't even see if I'm in frame, but I'm going to trust my spider sense. Huh? Anybody? Anyway, yes, hopefully I'm in frame. Hopefully you get this final clue right in Disney Jeopardy. It's all about the MCU's Spider-Man. Ooh, look at Brian's fine art in the back. You see that? Anyway, including Brand New Day, which is the new movie that just came out, provide the number of MCU films Tom Holland has appeared in as Spider-Man. Good luck. time is up. You can argue whether Tom Holland is the greatest Spider-Man, or Andrew Garfield, or Tobey Maguire, but the one thing you can't argue is that Tom has appeared in more films as Spider-Man than the other two. How many films has he been in? Well, let's count them. His first appearance was in Civil War, then came Homecoming, the first MCU Spider-Man film. Infinity War was next, Endgame after that, Far From Home, Spider-Man 2, No Way Home, Spider-Man 3, and one is missing, that is Brand New Day, bringing the grand total to 7. Bonnie, can you believe it? Spider-Man Jeopardy next week. I can't wait. The regular Disney Jeopardy will return soon after that. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Spider-Man's a hero. Bunny, you're a hero. You know who else are heroes? All the Disney Jeopardy pets. Give it up for all of them. They are our everyday heroes, bringing so much joy and love to our lives. Thanks to everybody for sending over their sidekicks. Now it is time for the Club DJ Poll of the Week, featuring the 2 runner-ups from last week. You've got Tim Allen, you've got Disney Math, and you've got this new third option. What will you choose? Well, whatever wins will not be in next week's episode, because next week is Spider-Man Jeopardy. Gotta get this off. It's way too hot for this. But it will appear in the next regular Disney Jeopardy episode. Now, you know the deal. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe and click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. This is Bunny Eclipse, and next week, time for Spider-Man. Bunny, you want a bone? See you guys.
Bye-bye.